Kia ora tātou, welcome back to the Wargaming Den. Tonight's game of Kings of War sees my Varangur taking on Gordon's Ogres. The mission we're going to be playing is Salt the Earth. Playing 2,000 points again tonight. Last couple of playtest games before an upcoming Kings of War weekend in Christchurch in a couple of weekends' time. So let's see how our armies perform. Right, and first up we have my Varangur list for tonight. It's just a wee bit of a tweak on my normal list. I keep quite a few units the same, as you've probably noticed, but I've got the 2 Night Raider regiments, a Trooper Tribesman, 3 Mounted Sons regiments, 2 have got the Guys of the Deceiver, 2 Tundra Wolf troops. I've got a Magus with a Lightning Bolt, Alchemist Curse, Boots of Levitation. He comes with a very highly recommended. And I decided to pair him up with another Magus with Lightning Bolt and Blood Boil. I was wondering whether I can get a 1-2 combination of Alchemist Curse and Blood Boil working. That's the plan for having 2 anyway. And I've given the second one the Amulet of Fireheart, 1 Thane on a Frostfang with the Trickster's Wand. Taken a Lord on a Frostfang this time. I don't usually take a Lord. We'll see how he goes. And finally, I've got a Snow Troll Prime. So that's 13 units, 19 unit strength. And next up, we have Gordon's Ogre list. This is quite an elite Ogre list he's running tonight. It's only got 9 units and 15 unit strength, but every unit's pretty hard hitting. So he's got 2 Chariot Hordes. One he's given Jesse's Boot so they can do better in rough terrain. He's got a Boomer Chariot with the troop with the Sacred Horn so that it's got better aura on its stealth. 2 Sergeants on Chariots. He's got the Crocodile Wrangler and Manny the Mammoth. And that is supported by the Warlord on a chariot with the 2 chariot regiments, which make the Hell on Wheels formations. So yeah, so small but powerful, hard-hitting army there. And here we have deployment. Now, very different table to any we've used before. We've started using the Shroud of the Reaper maps the last few weeks. So this time we've actually got 4 buildings, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got the 2 walls there, and the only other terrain is a hill here and a wood here. Ideally, I like to hang my Night Raiders out in a wood, or in a field or something, but no such luck tonight, I'm afraid. So very interesting table though. Look, we've got charge options through here or through here, another avenue of approach through there, and also the hill there. So interesting options. Let's have a look at how I decided to deploy. Basically, into 2 battle groups. I've got the Mounted Sons with the Lord and the Tundra Wolves. Another Tundra Wolf just off out of the photo here as well. And then this is my defensive battle group here with my Night Raiders. Tribesmen are going to push out, and I've got the 2 Magus in the prime with them. Ideally, I would have wanted to try and contest this wood, but I thought with Manny in the Chariot Horde with Sir Jesse's Boots, he was just going to drive me out of there anyway, so better to avoid it if I could. And these guys can either go through this way or support out this way if needed. So I thought that was a reasonably flexible deployment. As you can see here, Gordon's going to take the wood. He's got Manny backed up by the Chariot and a Warlord. He's also got Chariot Regiment nearby and the Boomer Chariot to give the stealth bubble to most of those units. So wanting to sweep through this way. And then he's got a second little battle group here that could either come through this way, put pressure on, or go out wide potentially. And that's got the 2 lots of chariots and 2 sergeants. Now the missions we're playing is Salt the Earth. So at the end of a turn, if you're within 3 inches of an objective, you can destroy it. So we place 3 across the middle. There's 1 back here by those chariots, another one by those chariots, this one over here with the Tundra Wolves, and this one here. So we've both got a couple back in our deployment zones, and the others across the front. So my thoughts beforehand were to race up here, get rid of this one with the Tundra Wolves, maybe leave this one so these Tundra Wolves can come across and cover it if need be, and then we'd be fighting ideally over these 2 central ones. This one I was going to try and hold on for a few turns, see what happened, either hold it or burn it if necessary. And I'm assuming Gordon, being ogres and chariots, can't afford to sit around with them at the back, so he's going to burn those ones, and also try and contest the middle ones would be my guess. Right, let's move on. And before we start, just another quick look down the battle lines. Very impressive looking armies, I think, and should be a good game. So let's move on to turn one. And turn one, Gordon got the first turn. He advanced with his sergeant here. That marker there was to show that he was within 3 inches, and he burned that token, advanced the other sergeant, burned a token back there, burned a token back there, and advanced the regiment up behind this wall. Advanced just in behind the woods here as well. So Gordon wanted to burn the back token so he didn't have to worry about them. The fight was going to occur in my half if he had anything to do with it. So in my turn, Tundra Wolves out of sight here, but they advance close enough to burn the far token on that hill. Just push the other Tundra Wolves forward as a screen with the Thane getting into charge range, but if he does charge me, I've got the Mounted Sons to retaliate, and also my Lord on a Frostfang. But I'm also making sure I'm in charge range for next turn as well. Over here, just pushed out the Tribesmen forward to take a charge maybe. Snow Trolls in behind them. Fired at the Stealth Chariot there with these guys and with both my Lightning Bolt Wizards. I think I did 2, maybe 3 wounds. Forgot to fire these guys, didn't see any worthwhile targets really, so didn't see the point in doing that. So just a wee bit of long distance sparring on turn 1, as is often the case. Right, and on to Gordon's turn 2. As you can see, the chariot, Sergeant on a chariot came across this way. There's my Tundra Wolves just below the hill there. May have sidestepped a bit with the other chariots by the looks of it. These guys have just stayed still, maybe turned a wee bit, not much happening there. Chariots haven't moved. The Boomer chariots haven't moved. Sergeants popped forward, moved into the woods here with the chariot horde, and Manny's popped through this way. So the only action that happened was the Crocodile Wrangler charged out, hit my my tribesman. 7 attacks, but he was hindered. So he only got 1 hit. And that turned into a single wound, and then he got he must have got a 9 or even just a 7, but with Manny's +2 brutal support maybe. But anyway, he hindered my tribesman horde there. So that was the only combat on round 2. Gordon's got absolutely no shooting, so the shooting phase is pretty quick, and then we are off and into my turn. And again, just another look along the battlefield. So it looks quite cool from this angle. He's starting to try and work around my flank here, and I'm trying to keep things together in the center. And what did I do? My Tundra Wolves down here, they moved back out of the line of sight arc of the sergeant on the chariot. My other Tundra Wolves, I decided to throw forward here into the sergeant on the chariot, did a few wounds with him, hitting on 3s. I like the Tundra Wolves for that. And I'm just keeping these 2 units back to see what's going to happen. And I swung these Mounted Sons around to help support this flank. Looked like it was going to get under a lot of pressure. So I've got 2 Mounted Sun units over here. These guys pivoted to hit Manny, did some wounds. These guys, Manny was in his arc, they hit Manny. I also got Manny with the lightning bolt from here, and this is the guy with Alchemist's Curse, and he was also, but he lightning bolted, wanted to stay out of charge range, and I wasn't going to be able to avoid the arcs or Manny. the tribesmen moved back a wee bit, and the Snow Troll Prime charged forward and did a couple of wounds on the Crocodile Wrangler. So there we go. Turn 1 and 2 completed. And just from a slightly different angle. So you can see I'm starting to bend my line, anchoring it on this building here. Gordon has taken the woods and is just lining up for his own charges. And around here we're kind of facing off against each other as well. So let's move on to turn 3, eh? Okay, Gordon decided to put pedal to the metal. Charged down here with his boomer chariots, just protecting the flank here. Charged in against my Snow Troll Prime with his chariot regiment, and through the horde of chariots into my Night Raiders here, and many attacked my Magus, the one with Lightning Bolt and Blood Boil there. And this was a really good move here, actually. If you probably saw in the last shot, maybe, the Crocodile Wrangler was here. And so he just did the pivot that they're allowed, which gave him line of sight to these guys, and then did some nimble shenanigans, went zip, zip here. So his plan is to hold up these mounted suns. So that was a very good move there. Not what you want to see when you're a Defense 3 Night Raider unit. A rather menacing horde of chariots charging down at you. Usually these guys are hidden within a field or behind a wall, but no such luck today. So they are going to be roadkill, would be my guess. And look, things have just been expanded out now, so you can see the other side of the battlefield as well. There's a sergeant on a chariot lurking around here somewhere, down near where the objective is. These chariots have charged into the flank of the Tundra Wolves. They're not going to last very long. These chariots have slipped across a bit more, and he threw the other sergeant into my Frostfang Thane there. So units are being committed all over the board at this point in time. And this is one of those turns where the bounce of the dice just did not go Gordon's way. His sergeant here only did 1 wound against my Thane. He killed the Tundra Wolves there, which was not surprising. It was a flank attack, so it was 40 attacks against my, I think, what's the nerve? 10, 12 maybe? So yeah, they exploded in a big pile of fur. Over here, again, this Crocodile Wrangler missed with most of his attacks. Got his vicious reroll, which did the required 1 wound against the Sons of Korgan. I was hoping to just charge through beyond him if I could. As you can see, no sign of the Night Raiders down here. They got well and truly smashed. And what I didn't notice or point out last time, they actually had a Warlord beside them as well. So it was 20 dice from them plus the 7 from the Warlord. So yeah, that was only ever going to go one way. The other chariot regiment did 5 wounds by the looks of it, and only wavered my Snow Troll Prime, so he kind of got a get out of jail free card. But the worst result for Gordon, my Magus here, Manny came charging in with 12 attacks. I think he got another 2 attacks, so that gives him on average 7 hits, 6 of which should wound. He's got brutal too as well, and he really fluffed his dice rolls. I think he only got 2 or 3 wounds scored against me. It was just a disastrous round for Manny. So much to my surprise, my Magus is still alive and kicking, and this is the other one which has got the Alchemist Curse. So he's going to zoom around here and put a few more wounds on Manny if he can. So pretty lucky there for me. The Magus did really well. The Thane got lucky as well, and the Snow Troll Prime, though he's got reasonable nerve, he held against that unit as well. So I wouldn't say things are swinging my way, but I was very happy that the dice gods decided to abandon Gordon for that particular turn. And what was my cunning response? I threw the Mounted Sons and the Tundra Wolves. These Tundra Wolves were way over here. They both went charging in at the horde of chariots there. This guy looks like killed the sergeant, and I can just see the Lord there, and I'm not sure if he got a flank attack or not, or if he was just short. Can't quite remember. I may have just moved around, I think, to put pressure on that flank next turn. Charged in here with the Mounted Sons, killed the crocodile with my counter charge, and the other Mounted Sons destroyed the, what was it here, the boomer chariots. And these little guys did 2 or 3 wounds against the chariots. The interesting thing is with my Tundra Wolves and my tribesmen, they get 9 attack, and I seem to do the same with actually my Ogre warrior regiments, is 9 attacks. I tend to get 7 hits with them. I keep punching way above their weight. They should get 6, but usually I get 7 or 8, and then they always seem to spike quite nicely. This guy moved back a bit using his nimble to turn away, made sure he was more than 1 inch from those guys. That's what this thing's my measurement for, and also 1 inch from those guys, which let these guys come in. And over here, I threw my other Night Raiders in to slow this unit down. But what I didn't do at the end of my turn 2, I was going to burn this token because I could see crap load of chariots. I wasn't likely to hold it. Forgot to burn it. So now I'm just trying to keep Gordon's away from these guys as much as possible. Over here, that's Manny's brutal marker that Gordon uses to show which other unit he's going to give brutal to, so he doesn't forget. Very good idea. Did a few more wounds. I think Manny's up to about 12 wounds now. The Alchemist's Curse is really starting to pay off. So I was very happy with that turn overall. Oh, and as we can see up there, my attack wavered the chariots horde, I think it is. And that was only because I threw those Tundra Wolves in as well. If I'd just thrown the Sons of Gorgon in, which I would have done a few games ago, probably would have thought that they'd be enough and did it unsupported, I would have failed and been killed in the countercharge. So more than happy. But by wavering him does mean that my Mounted Sons are going to get 30 dice in the flank here from this chariot regiment on the next turn, pretty much guaranteed. But yeah, overall, a brutal turn 3 for both of us. Let's move on. And again, just a little shot down the table to see the action from a different perspective. Now, what's Gordon up to? Surprise, surprise. He got a flank attack here. And I think that, oh, those guys were wavered, so they couldn't counter charge there. There's that chariot guy. He started around here. He's gone, going down behind this building. Currently, through the Warlord and against my Mounted Sons over here. Countercharged against my tribesmen. Manny looks like he's going to crush my poor little mages. And these guys are trying to hold up a chariot. That's not going to end well, I'm sure. Now, earlier in the game, I can't quite remember when, but I got a double 1. And then this was pretty pivotal because the chariot regiment got my tribesmen up to 10 wounds. They're only at 10, 12. So the only thing that could save them was, oh yes, double 1. So instead of being dead, they are still rocking and rolling. Love it when a double 1 happens. Elsewhere on the battlefield, those guys were wavered. This regiment, surprise, surprise, killed my Mounted Sons over here. 30 attacks, didn't like that. And Gordon, the sneaky little individual that he is. Look at that for placement. Front arc here, front arc there. I thought I'd place my guys so that one of them was going to catch him in a flank, but no. Gordon wasn't going to fall for that kind of malarkey. Over here, the Warlord hit my Mounted Sons, did 7 wounds on them, and wavered them. And over here, that's where the double 1 happens, so I am free to counter attack. He's no longer wavered. Chariots have killed the Night Raiders, turned to face, and Manny, finally squashed that Mages. He should have killed him last turn and is now turned to face action this way. And that you can see that double one there. They also had the +2 brutal given to them by Manny, so that was really lucky for me. Anything you can do, I can do too. This is my Mages. He did another Alchemist Curse. I got Manny up to maybe 16 wounds, and then, oh yeah, double one time. So that's kind of just karma balancing things out for both of us, I reckon. What have we got going on here? These are the cool measuring sticks that Gordon made us a few weeks back. They're really quite handy. He's made them up to 24 inches, every 2 inches. So we've got a 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 and 24 each, made out of, I don't know, Kevlar or something really light, but they're really quite handy to check charge ranges and stuff. But anyway, I digress. Tundra Wolves and that Thane killed the chariots which had been wavered the turn before. Threw in This Is My Lord on Frostfang and against the chariots here. Did a few wounds. Couldn't do anything here with my mounted sons because I was wavered. The other mounted sons though, because these guys weren't killed with that double one, were able to charge in and kill that chariot regiment that had been there. And that's the warlord there. And then over here, there's that double one against Manny. So, yeah, pretty happy with where things are sitting overall. Right, there's a lot going on, and I can't quite remember all of it, so my apologies. I've lost the mounted sons there. Maybe Manny got them. Not sure what happened to my snow troll prime, but he's definitely dead. Sorry, can't quite remember how that happened. The warlord charged. Oh no, maybe the warlord took out the. No, I can't have taken out the snow troll prime. I'm not quite sure how that happened. Unless these guys took him out and then turned to face. Yeah, not 100% sure what happened there. But these guys are no longer wavered and they're not dead yet, so that's good for me. There's my Mages hanging around, and there's that chariot guy that keeps trying to photo bomb into all the photos without actually doing anything all game. Okay, it's pretty brutal. We're both taking a lot of damage. I've lost my mounted sons now, and not much left here, but the little regiment, the little troop that could is still hanging in there, and my Mages, and he's got Alchemist Curse still. The warlord still rocking around. Over here, looks like it was another whiff by Gordon because there's only 2 wounds on my Frostfang Lord, and I've got a Thane to charge in from behind. But I think he may have waved. Did he waver me? Was that a thing, or am I just dreaming? Not sure. We'll have a look at my turn and see what happens. Double sandwich here from the Thane and the Frostfang Lord. Killed the chariots over there. Not sure where or when the Tundra Wolves died, but oh no, yeah, they must have got killed last turn maybe. Threw these guys in because they should have been dead, but they're still alive, to do a couple of wounds on the chariot horde, slow them down. That's that guy that keeps photo bombing. The warlord's there. Manny? Where are you, Manny? Oh, that's right, Alchemist Curse. Finally got him. So, interesting. We're about to hit turn 6. This is an objective. This is an objective. And there's an objective back in this corner where my other troop of Tundra Wolves are sitting on that one. And so I've got one. This is the key one, or this one. Currently it's 1-all. Yes, these guys finally killed that troop of tribesmen, and I think Gordon rolled a 3 or something ridiculously low, but I needed a double one again to save myself. But then what he did, as I was saying before, because he was standing over here, he completely forgot that there was an objective here behind them. So at the end of his turn, he moved these guys forward, and they got a 5 or something. So they actually were going to move all the way up here. And then I pointed out to him that that was an objective, and he realised that he couldn't see it from back where he was. So he redid his move, said, look, it's fair enough. It's only a friendly, and we all make mistakes like that. Where from our angle we can't see where objectives and stuff like that are all the time. Over here, this was another really good move. So the building is kind of shielding things. The objective's right here at the back of this chariot. So what Gordon's done is throw in the warlord as far forward as he can. So if I charge the warlord, he's only had a couple of wounds max on him. I'm not likely to kill him, and it means I'm not going to be close enough to contest either. And this guy is, or he'll be able to contest, but it'll be 2-1. And this guy hasn't got enough movement to come around these guys, even with his nimble. So Gordon's blocked it really quite nicely to make sure that he is able to control that one. So that gives him 1, 2, 1. The only thing that I can do is charge with my Lord on Frostfang, hope to kill the Warlord, which isn't a given, and that will make this one 1 unit strength each and turn the game back into a tie, because he's got that one there. I've got the one off screen here. Let's see how I managed to do it. And did I manage to kill him? And I'm not sure why I'm not standing up there as well, because I thought this guy was meant to move across to try and contest, but it doesn't look like I've done that. So that means I'll probably lose 2-1 at the end of turn 6, unless I rolled a 4 and turned it into a turn 7. And the 4th double 1 of the game. These guys weren't on that many wounds, didn't matter anyway. They're only on about 6 wounds maybe, so the double 1 didn't really have any influence there that time, but the other double 1s were a bit crucial, especially for my tribesmen. Okay, these chariots here charged my lord and killed him on Gordon's turn, was the main thing that happened there. And my other Thane, he was able to use a nimble charge around this guy who's in contesting range but was trying to block him, and charged the chariots in return and killed them. So this was a draw here, no points each. So my Tundra Wolves way down in this corner actually ended up winning the game 1-0. And there we have it. So this objective here was the critical one in the end, and it was these, the Tundra Wolves that are out of sight that stayed back there, or charged back there. And that's maybe what happened to those, where I couldn't remember where those Tundra Wolves had got to. I think what happened is after we killed that chariot, yeah, that's what I did. I did an 18-inch move back that way and then ran back and took that objective. So that's what happened to my other unit of Tundra Wolves. But lots of the burning of the tokens. Gordon, because he was fast and mobile, he didn't want to be hanging back defending these, so he burned those. Likewise, I didn't want him capturing this one either, so saw that as one to get rid of. Not getting rid of this one kind of almost came back to bite me, but if I had have got rid of it, it may have actually meant that Gordon turned to put more pressure on this one earlier, so it may have worked out in my favour by kind of drawing him a bit further down here as well. But that was a really good, really close game. We both just smashed each other. My Lords and Thanes and Snow Troll Prime, I was getting 4 wounds out of 5 rolls to hit with them, whereas Gordon's Sergeants, he was lucky to get 1 or 2 wounds. Just the dice rolls were really bouncing in my favour at times there. But we both had a couple of double 1s. We both had our chances, and both of us were right in it, right to the wire. So that was a really good game. So next week will be our last playtest game, and I'll be taking a similar army, but I will be sneaking a Chimera into the mix as well. So look forward to that battle report in a week or so. But there we have it. Thank you very much for watching. Thoroughly enjoyed the game against Gordon as always. And yeah, look forward to the next one. So yeah, as I said, thanks very much for watching. Until the next time, ka kite anō.